Unhook this real quick. Hold on. Bald head guy, right with the fire chief. Hey, Ross, do you have a mic in there? Hold on. We'll get one more wide shot. Got to move over to the boat. I got this. Do you need the noodle? Yeah. Hold this for right now. I can't get it. Yeah. And then just throw it on. Hey! And then I can't get this to close it, so there it goes. Come on. You're just gonna. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check. All right. We're good. Thanks everybody for joining us here on Facebook Live. Justin Gould and photographer Bronson Rasmussen on Crescent Street in the city of Jamestown. Just around 7 o'clock, this massive factory structure, which you see behind us, started ablaze. We had incredible viewer video and photos from our Storm Hartman that came in just moments as people were driving by, and they saw the windows of the factory absolutely engulfed in flames. And now a half an hour later, fire crews are still working to put out the blaze. We have crews called in all the way from here to Falconer to Frewsburg who are battling this blaze. It's unknown whether anyone was injured or inside of this factory at the time. However, we do know that this building was considered to be abandoned, and police are actually closing off the area. That's why we had to move back our live shot. We were stationed up there, but they've since moved everyone back, or at least the viewers that were in the area. But the closest intersection to us is Crescent and Thayer. Crescent and Bishop is there, and then as you go down, you see the actual factory which was put up in flames. We'll continue to keep you updated on this story as we learn more, as we get more information. But a Jamestown police officer did tell me that they are going to be actively investigating what caused this fire, since it was an abandoned building. Bronson, if we maybe can tighten up a little bit, I know there's a lot of trees. This isn't the most consistent live shot that we've had throughout the evening. But we're going to try to relocate and see if we can't get to the other side. I know police have closed off this area, and as we continue to work to learn more information. But off-duty Jamestown fire crews called in, Falconer Fire Department, crews all the way from Frewsburg responding to this. And traffic along East 2nd Street, this was another important note, was backed up all the way to almost Jamestown High School as I was trying to arrive to the scene probably about 20 minutes ago. So definitely when you have a fire like this, you get the looky-loos that try to come and look onto it, right? I mean, it only makes sense. You don't have this much often. This actually reminds me of a string of fires in 2017 in Jamestown, kind of that idea where you'd have a giant factory. But even if you can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, Bronson, maybe if I'm not sure how easy it is to move this way, but you can even see a little bit some of that flames even coming through the brush. So this is definitely a hot fire, going to take a lot of water to get to put that out. But we're going to continue to try to keep everybody updated and provide updates throughout the night here on WNY News Now. If you haven't downloaded our mobile app, it's the best time to do so. We'll push out breaking news alerts when we know more information and are able to confirm things. But if you're just joining us, this is a massive factory along Crescent Street near the intersection of Crescent and Bishop, and then it kind of heads eastward over into Falconer. And this factory has been vacant for a number of years. Residents in the area are telling me that they haven't seen any activity in it. It's unknown whether people might be inside, the homeless people, but we could only be speculating at this point. Police said they are completely investigating this as soon as the scene is able to be under control, but they are asking people to avoid the area of Crescent Street, Bishop. 2nd Street was backed up, as I mentioned earlier on in the night, so we'll continue to provide updates throughout the night here on WNYNewsNow.com. And we're going to try to reposition our live shot actually to see if we can't get a better view of the fire. The issue is the fire crews are trying to keep everybody back. One of the big things that they do worry about, that the police officer told me, is that there's actually these little cup links that are attached to their hose. Sometimes when those lines are pressurized, they can actually explode, right? And that can cause issues for fire crews. But I actually do see that City's Director of Development, Crystal Surdick, now arriving on scene here. And again, Jamestown Police tell us that this will be investigated as the night goes on. But Jamestown Fire, Falconer Fire, crews all the way to Frewsburg, we're hearing, have been called in to assist the city of Jamestown in battling this blaze. And as soon as we learn more information, we'll update you. But at this point, anything I really say would be speculation. But it looks like they're finally deploying Ladder 2. It does take a little while to get set up. One of the things, they had it a little farther back earlier on in the night in our live shot, and then they inched it forward. Right? When they respond to a fire scene, it's all about safety, even for the first responders that are responding to it. So they have to address the scene. They have to make sure, okay, assess things. Is this a good place for our fire truck? Fire Chief Matthew Kuhn here as well, obviously leading his brave men and women, and more firefighters who are arriving off duty, who have to walk this, it's probably a half a mile, you think, Bronson, from where our cars were parked near the Dollar General here on Crescent Street. It's not an easy walk by any means. I mean, I ran half of it, then regretted that I didn't run track in high school. So, but nevertheless, you see Jamestown Fire deploying that. They're going to try to get some water on it from an aerial attack. As I mentioned, Crescent and Thayer is the intersection behind us, and then this is Crescent and Bishop going all the way down. Looks like water from one of the engines now being deployed. A lot of people just looking on in absolute amazement to see a large fire like this. We haven't seen one here in a while in Jamestown, but when you look at some of these abandoned buildings, right, they sit there. People still have access to it, even if they're burnt up, boarded up. So pretty much the area between almost Cheney Street, maybe a little farther back down Crescent, going all the way up to past Kip is closed. Earlier, traffic on 2nd Street was backed up quite a bit. We're pretty close. We're between Thayer and Bishop Streets. And the intersection we're looking at now as they continue to put water on this. But JPD politely asked us to move back, so we did, out of respect for them. Maybe not the best view, but you still see crew putting water on it. As we're able to safely reposition, we will for you. A lot of times that aerial water attack is one of their best tools that they can use because it really drenches it. Lots of manpower called in. About 42 minutes ago is when the first few calls of this fire were coming in. We had some initial viewer video of people driving by actually, and they saw broken down windows from inside of this massive old factory here in Jamestown that were knocked out. It was incredible video. You almost looked like a Halloween type of orange coming out of it. And you still see that now, even after putting water on it. We had video coming all the way from Randolph that showed this just massive plume of smoke as people look on in disbelief. I actually want to talk to this gentleman. He's walking down. Excuse me, sir. Sir, hi. Do you live in the area here? You live. Did you see the massive plume of smoke earlier?
No, I'm just on my way trying to get home.
Yeah, and you can't get home because of it.
Well, they got the traffic messed up. I had to see what was doing it.
Right. It's really an incredible scene. I mean,
How long has this been going on?
It's about 45 minutes now, since 7 o'clock.
You mean they got this town all tied up in that short of a time?
Yeah. Jamestown Fire, they do make quick work. When earlier it looked to be pretty exposed fire-wise.
Really?
But yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to get home with your dog?
My truck. I stopped my truck and walked down to see what was burning.
Right.
Now we're going to go home and get supper.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you for
Have a
talking
nice
to me.
day.
You too. So again, we'll switch back over and we'll take a look at the scene. Good. Do you guys live around here? Yeah. Did you see the smoke earlier?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What did you see? I hear about 7 o'clock is when this started to happen.
About 7 o'clock-ish, we were outside sitting cleaning our backyard and saw a plume of black smoke. You could smell it over on Barrow Street.
And this building, I mean, this is massive. We're told it is an old abandoned factory that's vacant. Crews putting water on it now. I mean, to you, what's your reaction when you see something like this?
My reaction is that it's a shame. I feel like the city should step up with different people who might have money to redevelop the buildings or use the buildings in different ways. There's homeless people out here. People can step up and make these buildings better so people can use them.
Absolutely, and the utilities we assume were probably shut off, but I mean that's only an assumption really at this point. So what was your name? I'm sorry.
Jason Skinner.
Oh yeah, Pearl City Pets. I'm sorry.
Pearl City Pets.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So, not the time to advertise, but Pearl City Pets, we appreciate your support to keep this local journalism going. So stay safe out here. So again, about 7 o'clock is when we learned of this fire occurring here on Crescent Street, really near the intersection of Crescent and Bishop Streets. It seems like a lot of people are getting closer. I know police were saying, you needed to stay back as much as you can, but we'll try to reposition here maybe, see what we can do, see what we can see. But we gotta fix this. Now Bronson, I know you're off camera, doing a great job with the camera work. You were on scene probably maybe 10 minutes before I was?
I'd say about 10, yeah.
What'd you see?
The fire was a lot bigger than the initial shots that we got once you got here. Flames were just erupting from the roof everywhere. I could feel the heat from about where we're standing from the fire.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Back before you got here and we started filming.
Wow. Yeah. And I mean, it's really, when you look at the site, I mean, it's just an incredible view, and the words almost don't describe when you look at such a big inferno like this. I mean, I imagine these are professional firefighters, but it's got to be a little overwhelming. I don't know. We'll try to talk to maybe a chief once the night rolls along here, but nevertheless, it's crazy. So. So again, we'll keep you guys updated. We're just going to kind of keep this Facebook Live going. And as we try to learn more information, I'll try to get that to you. These people are trying to come through here. I don't want to get too close. So Bronson's going to try to reposition maybe a little more over here. I'm going to see how far down they'll let us go. We don't want to get in their way, but clearly there's people over here, so. Try to get to Crystal. So we've successfully relocated to Crescent and Bishop Streets to try to get a better view. If you're just joining us, here's what we know. Around 7 o'clock, 911 calls came in that a massive fire was burning at this abandoned factory near the intersection of Bishop and Crescent Streets. Since then, an overwhelming amount of firepower was called in to the area. to try to battle down this blaze, and it looks like they're doing a pretty good job of putting water on it. But from my recollection of memory, this building was complete, not sound, but complete. There would have been a wall there to the right side of your screen. That seems to be gone now. And I see a lot of comments praising the firefighters. Yeah, we need that today because they are working hard, working very hard. And actually, Chautauqua County Executive PJ Wendell is here. I'm going to just see if he has any information. PJ, I know you're just probably getting here as we were, but I want to let you know we are live on WNY News Now. Do you have any idea what crews were called to? I mean, it seems like an abandoned factory.
I was talking to Chief Kuhn as he was coming on location. There was some operations in this building. He wasn't sure exactly how involved it was, but there was a furniture reconditioning. I think they were trying to repair old furniture, stuff like that. So the fire load may have been pretty significant inside. He wasn't 100% sure when he was walking up.
But nevertheless, I mean, it's an old structure, and I know you're a firefighter for the brave men and women in Lakewood. What kind of operation are we seeing here? It seems like there's a lot of manpower and coordination.
Well, the city has, this is one of the structures, as Chief Kuhn said, they've had pre-planned, so they know what they're doing. They knew where to attack from what side. So, you've got all of Jamestown Fire Department, several volunteers, neighboring departments here. So a lot of manpower. These old buildings are, a lot of them wood structures inside, brick exteriors, and, if you noticed, everything fell to the inside. The hazard is now these walls coming out. That's why you notice everybody's back as far as they are. Term is surround and drown at this point, but these guys it's a hot day. They're all working hard, so hats off. They're really doing a great job.
Firefighter welfare is something that I know I've talked with chiefs in the county about, trying to keep the men and women hydrated. What for you, if you were in their shoes, what are some of the things that you'd be looking out for as you were to fight this blaze?
Well, you're looking out for heat. The guys have the gear on and you get wet, but you also have a lot of heat built up inside of that gear. You notice they have water here. The guys are drinking a lot of Gatorade. Officers are encouraging guys to stay hydrated. So when you're working like this, they don't have any other speed but fast and ultra fast. So they're going to push themselves, and it's everybody on the outside, the officers and people in charge, making sure they're taking care of themselves. And these guys they're professionals. They know what to do and how to take care of themselves. So they're going to make sure that that's another focal point. Now that the building is somewhat under control, now you just make sure that everybody working is they're safe, they're healthy. Start rotating guys in and out of positions.
And I know that the police told us earlier, one of their big messages to people living in the area, obviously you see something like this, you live nearby, you want to come check it out, but the best thing is to probably stay home.
Just stay at home. There's a lot of trucks coming in and out. There's a lot of hose lines being laid. It's really best to stay out. Watch from your home until because people can't get down too close to see it. If they do, they start to get into the way of the operations. And like I said, these guys are so good at what they do. They're trying to focus on the task at hand and stopping this fire from spreading. You are watching, but the last thing you need is somebody there to stand in your way, or and that you really can't help. These guys, they know what they're doing. They're everybody stand back and stay home, and
all right, PJ,
you'll have great coverage from you. They'll be able to watch it on television.
Yeah,
right?
we'll go as long as our batteries will let us.
Exactly.
So thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it. So again, Bishop and Crescent Street, that's where we are right now, Bronson. If you want to take the camera back, let's not keep the people from the story here. This massive building, and we learning new information now that has been relayed to us from Chautauqua County Executive PJ Wendell, a brave first responder himself, Chief Kuhn, telling him that there were some sort of use in this building. It's not necessarily abandoned, as first reported. but they limited use, very limited use. So at this point, it looks like no injuries that we know of, but we'd only be speculating. So. So if you're just joining us for WNY News Now, coming up on 8 o'clock now, so we'll give you a little bit of recap. Fire crews were called in a little before 7 to this massive structure along Crescent Street. We're at Crescent and Bishop right now. And we had early viewer video to the scene here that showed just the extent of this fire. It was incredible. And within hours' time, Jamestown's finest fire department putting and knocking down a majority of the blaze. Not to say there still isn't a good amount of fire here. But you see crews trying to stay hydrated. Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell telling me that that's the biggest thing right now. It's hot, and engines all the way from, it looks like Kennedy are here. Obviously Jamestown off duty, Jamestown, Village of Falconer, Frewsburg, Kyantone. many other departments responding that we've seen. And this building, we're told, is a mixed-use building of some sort. Not much mixed use. Earlier, there were thoughts that it was abandoned, but Executive Wendell saying that there was some sort of business in here. And as we're able to learn more information, we will continue to provide updates and hold our live shot as long as we can. Bronson, you might be able to relocate to where I am. It looks like the sidewalk's clear here. If you want to try to get a better view, yeah. You can just leave the bag. I'll grab it, actually. Mayor Sundquist is around the corner. I'm going to go see if I can talk to him and see if we can get an update. I know he's working on an update. Did you get the mayor? I'll have him talk to you. All right, so we just got some new information from the city's Director of Development, Crystal Surdick. The mayor is still trying to get briefed on this. Once he does, he'll provide us an update. But it's confirming that there was some sort of light furniture rehabbing that was happening within this building. This was originally, when it was built many, many years ago, a furniture factory in Jamestown. But nevertheless, I mean, it's a powerful, powerful scene here. If we want to flip back around. And as we continue to work the area, we'll try to get you more information. So we did just get this from the New York State DOT. This is important. Route 394 is closed eastbound and westbound from Windsor Street to Buffalo Street due to a structure fire. That roadway could be closed for 6 hours. However, depending on how long it takes to actually knock down the flames, that could be pushed back. So we'll continue to keep you updated as we work to learn more information. But that email just hot from the DOT at this hour. A lot of that may have to do with running lines across the roadway. So something that's important to note, and I don't know if Bronson's able to see this, but it'd be to your left, straight down the sidewalk, Bronson. The mayor's actually getting briefed right now by the Jamestown Fire Department, along with his Director of Development, Crystal Surdick. It's difficult to see because there are some firefighters standing there, but just beyond their line, I can see it, so I'll report it. But nevertheless, he was talking to, looked like Chief Kuhn, getting briefed as he kind of walks down the apparatus. But it really looks like right now it's almost a little more than a city block is actually active with fire crews. And then beyond that, at least another city block is closed. So again, police just asking you to avoid Crescent Street. And then the state DOT reported to us about 10 minutes ago that 2nd Street was closed. But just really at this point, as Executive Wendell explained to us, a volunteer firefighter himself, they're working to just drench this thing and to put as much water as they can onto it. So one of the important things I think that we should note, maybe if you can pan over to the right, Bronson, Chief Kuhn gave me some information about not specifically the ladder truck, but about their new water trucks, the engines, right, that they just deployed a couple weeks ago. This job, really difficult. You have to manage the pressure and to continue to keep the lines flowing. So this guy doing that, and looks like to be doing a pretty good job of it. We thank our first responders for this, but trying to continue to keep water flowing onto it and compensating for various things. And that's one of the reasons why they don't want the general public to be down in this area, is because of the danger of the lines and lines coming pressurized and falling pressurized. And you see they're really ramping up that attack on this close side of the building to us. Say this would be the northwest side of the building, closest to us. And then it looks like the Falconer fire engine, the Falconer ladder truck rather, now heading down. There's actually a driveway that goes down. Heading down, it looks like they might be trying to set up like a rear attack. Now behind the building, as we look to our trusty Google Maps, is the Chattacoin River, and a railroad track as well. So that's something for first responders to contend with. But it does appear that there is a driveway that is allowing them to be able to get some rear access to this. But again, that smokestack, we saw images coming all the way from Randolph that showed just the extent of the thick black smoke. Even flames in some cases coming from this structure. One thing to keep in mind when you're on a scene like this, that we always try to do is, give as much respect to these first responders as we can, and we thank them so much for their work. Looks like the Jamestown BPU crew is arriving on scene. You see David Leathers, the president of the BPU, here in the white hat. There are wires connected to it, and as Director of Development Crystal Sturdick tells WNY News Now, there was some sort of business happening in here. She believes a furniture business, not a very big operation. Workers, owners come and go. Now, originally, when this building was built, she says that it was home to a massive furniture operation, which the Chattacorn River here in Jamestown saw quite a bit of.